Hi everyone, I'm Daniel, and today I want to speak with you about Data Portability API, Google Data Portability API. So I was very lucky to get early access to this API. I play with it a little bit, and I want to show you today exactly, as a developers, how to approach it, what's the best practice, and maybe basically what we can do with it. And also, we need to start with what is this Data Portability API. Basically, if you already know Google Takeout, you know, the website that we can go log into our account and actually get out of Google all our data, like back it up or just see exactly what information Google's storing on us. So you can get all your photos, if you have a YouTube channel, all your videos, all your search results, I mean, everything that you're storing. So in order to do that, if you already did it, and if you're not, I would encourage you to do it. It's a process. So you need to look into the takeout. You need to mark exactly what data you want to take out of it, or copy, or move. Yeah, it's more copy. And then you file the request. It takes time. It could take a few days before you're getting an email back that says, okay, your data is ready for you. We archive everything. And then you're getting like a list of downloads that you need to start download each one of them, and also security again. So you probably need to log in again with the first download if you're not already logged in. That's a whole full process. And basically the API allowed you to do everything behind the scenes. So instead of the user doing that, we can actually have an app that doing that for the user. Okay, so the user will give permission to the app to get all his information or some of his information, and we'll talk about exactly how to do it. And then the app can get a request, get the archive, and download it and do whatever you need to do with it. Basically, the best usage for this is, of course, to switch between services. So think like today, if you either using the ecosystem of Apple or of Google or whatever, and you want to switch, it's very hard because you already have all of your stuff, all of your information in one ecosystem. And moving is pretty hard, and we know that no one wants us to leave, so they're making it even harder. But they have to release now the API, and the reason they have to do it is very simple. GDPR, yes, the rules in Europe now make them do it a little bit easier. So the whole idea is that in order for user to have better access to their data and also be able to switch providers of services, GDPR Article 20 says that they have to have some kind of machine readable format, which means API, which means for us developers, new tools to play with. And that's exactly what I did. So I will have a different video that talk about the product side of this API. But for now, I'm just doing this video for developers. So we need to understand what's the workflow. Okay. As I said before, the user need to give some kind of authorization, some kind of a token to the app. So the app will refer the user to a URL, which is a Google URL, where the user will do the login. He will have to give his consent to, give the app the data, and also select which data he actually approving to the app to get. Once he's approving, the app will get back a token, which now with this token, it can actually ask for the archive. And it doesn't have to ask for everything. We will see in a second. The user can give a permission to a lot of different stuff, but the app can actually ask only for some of it. For all of it, it's up to you as a developer to decide what's the best to do. And I will talk about the best practice in a second. Once the app asks for the archive, it could take time. It could take minutes. It could take hours, it could take days. I think up to 7 days, if I remember right. So in the meantime, there is no push notification back from Google. In the meantime, the app will have to use some kind of get status. We will talk about exactly how often you should send this get status message. Once you get a complete for the get status message, you know that the archive is ready, because you will also get with that the secure URL to download the archive. And with this URL, you can actually start doing the downloading, and then you probably will get a zip file, and then you have the archive and you can start doing whatever your app need to do with the data of the user. And yeah, best practice, of course, once you got all the information, is to reset the authorization to make sure you're not leaving anything behind. The URL is secure, but still it's a URL, someone can fetch it. So we want to make sure that once we finish, we're cleaning everything. Okay. Let's just jump into the code and I will give more explanation once we're going through it. I created this code out of Google Quick Guide example. You will see it on the documentation. You have a link to the documentation at the top. I will put it on a GitHub also, so you will have access. Don't worry, the link is down at the comment and description. And I did some changes to this code, and I will talk about the changes a little bit later. But basically, it's like their example a little bit better. Some of the inspiration and some of the code that you will see in this example is also taken from Linda repo. I will link her channel if you don't know her. She's an amazing GDE. She really knows a lot about Google's API in all different kind of Google products. So yeah, I'm learning a lot from her channel. I hope you will subscribe to her channel. And yeah, so let's start. The first thing we need Google Cloud project. So you have a link over here, jump into the link, you have all the instruction how to do it. And once you get the project ready with the billing and the authorization and everything, you're good to go, but we also need a credential file so we can use it in this code. And I put some instruction how to do it over here. So just jump to the link and follow it. It's very simple. In the end of it, you will get a JSON file that you will need to put. I put it in the root director, but you can put it whatever director you want in your code. And then we will need to run, and we will need to reset the kernel, the environment, and then we will just need to go over, put the input. This is where you're putting the file and the path where it is. And then you will need to select which type of resource you want to get from the archive from Google. So basically, if you remember takeout, there's a huge list there that you could select which data you actually want to get. We don't have the full list yet because this is just a beta. But we do have a lot of stuff that we can start playing with. For this demonstration, I only took the search, so it will be very quick and very easy. But you can choose more than one. Whatever you choose right now in this list over here, it's not meaning that I'm immediately going to get it, but at least I want the user to authorize it, so I will be able to fetch whatever I need. So this is the list over here. Of course, which service I'm going to use, what's the version, we already talked about that. And this is just the supporting. This is the first thing that I actually added myself. So the Google example doesn't support other files than zip file. So it's assuming that whatever you're going to get is just an archive zip file, which once you extract it, you will have everything you need inside of it. But when I was testing it, the YouTube public video and YouTube private video, if the video was small enough, yeah, it got into a zip file. But for the huge files, I just got the MP4 file itself, and Google Code actually crashed on me. So I added this area over here, and you will see when I'm downloading the file, I'm actually first checking what is the file type, and if it's not a zip file, then I will save it on a new folder that I created over here, that name file. Okay, more supported function. So the first function is the get the credential. Basically, this function is sending the user into Google, back to Google to get his authorization. So there he will have the login part, and you have to give his consents to allow the app to get information and everything. And usually you will also have like a selection. So if I just choose one research, of course he will have one research, but if you have more, it doesn't mean that he will approve all of them. He could only approve one of them, and you need to take care of that in the code later on. So for now, all what we asking here is just, okay, let's send the user and let's open a local server to get a response back from Google with the auth token, which we really need. Okay, the next supporting function that we see over here is the one that getting the reference for the Data Portability API. That will give us the interface. And the next function is the one that asks for the archive. Yeah, we need the archive. So we will send the request to Google with the token and tell him exactly which resource we want to get back. In our case, it's very simple. It's only one of them, Yahoo. And basically the return for that function will be a job ID. So we're not getting the archive because the archive could take like 5 minutes, 5 hours, 5 days. I think it's up to 7 days for the archive to be ready. So we don't know how long it's going to take, and we will have to keep looking for it. But we have the job ID, and that's very important to store and to let me just run all this function because I forgot to run them. Okay, next function. Yeah, this is something that Google didn't have in the other example. Basically, when we keep asking for the status of the creation of the archive, we keep getting in process until we're getting complete, but we can also get failed. Something could go wrong on Google side, and then we'll get a fail. Once we're getting a fail, there is a retry function that allows us to send the job ID with a request for a retry and get back a new job ID. And that will be the new job ID that will try to redo the stuff that it failed to do before. I wrote this code, but I never had the chance to run it because all of my testing, everything went smooth. And there is no way to simulate the failing part. So I hope it's working. I kind of think it's working, but I don't know. Maybe today it will fail and we can see it together. Okay, what's next? Next for us is actually the get status that I talked to you about. Once again, this is something that Google put on their example. It's actually a way not to fetch like every few seconds and doing something more with increasing rate. So, you know, starting with something and then if it's not ready, just wait a little bit more and then try again. The code itself here this is something that I changed in order to also catch the failure one. So I'm running a loop. I'm asking for the status. If I don't get the status, if it's still in process, then I just getting like a status bar line, which just adding a block every time it's trying. And if it's failed, I'm doing the retry. And if it's succeed, then we will have also the URLs. So I'm returning the URL in this function. Let's see that we're running the function. Yeah, okay. And last, of course, the function that will allow us to reset the authorization. This is the last one. We want to run it. We want to clean everything once we finish. This is like the best practice to do. And I think it's also very important because we are dealing with other people's information and we want to make sure that once we finish with it, we just, you know, burning all the bridge, making sure that no one else will be able to get to that archive. And yeah, and this is the download file function, which I completely changed because I wanted to support also files that are not zip file. So the code is pretty simple. It is getting a little bit complicated over here. You can see that I'm actually, when I tested it, I saw that if the file name is not Latin 1, it's actually different characters, UTF-8 or something like that. It did get wrong, so I just fixed it in here and make sure that I'm also saving the right file name, not only the right data inside of it. Finally, we got to the place we can actually run the code. So let's start. We first want to get the credential. Once we're starting it, we will get a URL. It also will open automatically the website, but it's opening for me in a different window. So let me just copy it and open it over here. This is not my private account. This is a demo account. So you will get only a small piece of information, which is great for this demo. The first thing is, of course, Google say, wait, stop, be aware of what you're doing. You are going to copy some of your information to a different app. My app name is test app. So you can see everything over here. Clicking next. He makes sure that I understand this is the information that the app asking for, which in my case is moving a copy of Google's search activity. Great, that's what I want. I'm allowing it. And once I'm doing, I allowed it, Google sent to the auth token back to the app. And this is where we got the token up over here. And now we can actually ask to get the archive, right? So let's just click here. you see that it sends everything, and we also got a job ID back. Great. Once we got a job ID back, we can start fetching for the status. So yeah, that was very quick, as you can see, because I really don't have a lot of information in this user. But I can tell you that I was sitting few good minutes to some of the archive to get ready. So we got the archive, we got the URL, we download the URL, and it's also extract the zip file, and we also have the takeout folder now here, and you can see that we got all the information. Let me just do the reset for the authorization. Right, we're sending it, and now everything clean, everything is wiped out, and we're good to go. Basically, we finished running the code. Best practice, besides making sure that you're resetting the authorization, if you're asking for a few different resources, do them on a different jobs ID. It probably will be faster and also will be much more easier, especially when you're getting the information to know which information you got when, because some, at least from my experience, some of the information that come from different resources sitting on the same folders, on the takeout folders, and that could be confusing, especially when you're looking for YouTube videos. As I said, if it's not a zip file, you're just getting a file, and I'm putting the file in the file folder, but is that a private video? Is that a public video? You won't know that unless you did it on different jobs and then you store it in different places. But that's basically everything that you need to know, and you saw it running. And let me just get inside so you can see exactly, this is the search information. And maybe the most important thing that you need to know is how this structure is built. So if you go back to the documentation, you will have the resource group. So all the list that you saw that I put in the code, it's actually listed over here. Each one of the resources have its own schema. So if we will go to, let's just go to the search. This is my activity search. This is the schema of my activity schema, and I can see all the headers, all the keys, all the values, which type, everything that can return is already specified over here. So if I want to build some kind of a project out of this information, I know exactly what to expect for. Okay, let's go back to the presentation and what's next. Okay. I prepared a full code that show you how to take this JSON file, cleaning it a little bit, doing embedding of all of the titles, which actually says, if you remember over here, it says that I search for something and whatever. So I'm doing embedding. I'm putting it on Vertex AI vector database, and I'm doing a semantic search on my search. So I'm basically searching my search, which was a very nice and fast project to do. But I also got an early access to Gemini 1.5 Pro, which Gemini 1.5 Pro have a 1 million token windows. And I thought, wait, why don't, instead of writing all the code and getting a search of my search, why don't I use Gemini to give me the information? And I'm going off script here, so I'm just touching the presentation for now, and I'm going to try it with you. You're going to see my response for the first time. Let's see if it can do it or not. Okay, let me just set everything up. Okay, I went into AI Studio, Google AI Studio. I can select the Gemini 1.5 Turbo. Cool. Let's select a file. I will upload my activity from the search. Okay, and let me just add the question. This is my search activity. Summarize my search from last month. Okay, so we can see the file is uploaded. It's taking almost 260,000 tokens, which is nothing compared to the 1 million that we got from the model. And let's start the show. I believe it will take it a while, but let's see how long it's gonna take. Okay, this is nice. Wow, we got the summarization. Summarize of your search activity last month, February. Technology. Significant portion of your search results around technology. Oh, I need to read it up, right? Sorry. So we found out that I got technology. I'm very excited about it, by the way. So I was looking about Google Cloud Platform makes sense. Web developers, which I searched for Vue.js, right? I had a project in Vue. JavaScript, CSS for sure. Vuetify was, yeah, I used Vuetify and Firebase, right? Machine learning, TensorFlow, right? TensorFlow Lite, right? Oh my God. It's actually, that's all the search that I did from this account. I have like, I'm afraid to know what will be the results on my private account. General time zones. Yeah, everyone's sending me a meeting from different parts of the world and I need to figure out how to put it in my calendar. Collection. Hunky-dory. Right. People. Okay, this is pretty awesome. Yeah. And very, very accurate. You accessed Google services like Gmail. How does it know that I'm accessing it? I was just searching for it, or, oh, right, yeah, okay. So in some area you will see on my activity on the search that some of them is search and some of them is visit. So I guess it took the one that I visited when you searching for something and then you're clicking on it. So you actually going to the site. So it's practically know that I'm visiting it. This is exciting. This is scary. And I'm going to talk about all of that in my next video, this video was about Data Portability API for developers. The next one is for products and entrepreneurs who want to use the API, what they can do about it, and basically what I think about Article 20, which, yeah, it's a little bit scary from my point of view. But that is for our video for today. If you learned something new, please consider to like it so other people will also see it too. If you're interested about the video that I'm going to do, the product side of data portability, please subscribe, click the button, the bell, sorry. And thank you very much for watching.